Video games, junk food, and scrolling. Those were the only 3 things that I did for pretty much 8 years of my life. My summer break would literally be, okay, wake up, log on to Minecraft Battle Wars for 6 hours, go on to YouTube and just start watching it when the games get boring, eat junk food while I'm playing, get yelled at by my parents at the end of the day for how much time I waste, and then go to sleep again. But after just about 6 months, I was able to quit all of these addictions that I had for almost 8 years. And so in this video, I'm going to show you each and every step that I took to go from being a fat video gamer to losing 15 pounds, getting rid of all these addictions, and pretty much becoming reborn, bro. I'm gonna save you years with this video, so you'd be pretty stupid to click off. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name's Atharv, and I help teens struggling with poor mental health and addiction make a comeback in life just as I did. So before we can learn how to quit these bad habits, we need to know why we are doing them. Because for example, you already know how to stop eating junk food. You just take your fingers out of the chip bag and you stop eating it. But that advice doesn't help you because you don't actually need to know how to stop, but why you're doing it in the first place. And here's the thing. These 3 habits of video games, junk food, and scrolling are all connected by one thing. And so if we can find the root cause, we can break all of these habits with just one fix. So here's the thing. These 3 habits, video games, junk food, and scrolling, are all versions of instant pleasure. And what that means is pretty much I would eat the junk food, for example, and it would feel really good on my tongue for that moment, right? Like instantly it's pleasurable. But as soon as the taste fades away, it feels bad. I feel bad about myself because now I'm even fatter than I was. When it comes to scrolling, oh yeah, it feels really good while you're doing it. But all of a sudden, as soon as you close the iPhone, okay, you're done. You've just wasted 4 hours. That's all that happened. So pretty much instant pleasure is just something that you do right now, but it makes you feel like shit later. So junk food, video games, scrolling. And the thing that I struggled with for so long is that I became so attached to this instant pleasure because I thought that it made me happy. And so I thought that if I do it more, I'll be happy. But it turns out that these 3 habits of video games, junk food, and scrolling, they don't actually make you happy, bro. They just numb you and make everything else in life boring so that you do it more. And so that's why you feel so trapped right now. Everything else in life right now feels so boring. And that is because of these 3 habits that have pretty much rewired your brain to look for pleasure. It fries your dopamine and it leaves life feeling dull and bland. These 3 habits don't even make you feel happy. They just numb you so that life gets boring and then that's the only thing that you do. Like let's say you were to zoom out in a third person and you were to watch yourself scrolling on YouTube Shorts. If you were to look at yourself, you wouldn't even be like dying laughing, right? If you were like absolutely having a 10 out of 10 time, like there were tears rolling down your eyes because of how fun it was, okay, that's a different story. That actually might be good for you. But let's say I were to look at my friend scrolling on TikTok for an hour, he wouldn't even be smiling while he was doing it. So overall, it's like what, 5 out of 10 when it comes to entertaining you? And that's because you've been doing it for so long that it doesn't even make you happy anymore. And this is what I lived like for so long. But in the past year, I have gone on to quit this addiction and I found a way to make life feel so good and so entertaining that you don't even need TikTok. You don't even need video games to keep you entertained. And the way that we do this and the way we cure the root cause is we have to improve our mental health. Because here's the thing, if you had perfect 10 out of 10 mental health right now, you wouldn't need video games. You wouldn't need junk food. So don't think, oh, I have perfect mental health. I don't know why he's talking. I don't need this. You do, but you just don't realize that you have bad mental health because you've been living with it for so long. So the way you improve your mental health is you improve your baseline dopamine. Every single time you've gone onto YouTube Shorts or you've eaten the junk food or you've played the video games, you've been spiking your dopamine up here. But then when it goes back to its normal baseline level, it goes even lower than where it was. So pretty much every single time you play the video games, when you're done, you feel even worse than when you started. And so it's no wonder that you feel semi-depressed and you have no motivation. Your dopamine levels are fried. And the way that you improve dopamine is you need to start making progress in life again. Steve, for the past few years, you've probably been playing video games for hours every single day, making progress in the video game, but your life has stayed here. And so it's no wonder that you don't feel motivated to work out or motivated to study. Because you haven't been seeing any progress being made in life, you don't have any motivation to start working on yourself. And so we need to find a way to make fast, quick progress in order to get your dopamine levels and your motivation in life back up to here. Because once you do that, you won't need TikTok, you won't need video games anymore. And so how do we do this? We need to first understand the concept known as delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is pretty much just you doing something right now that feels bad, but it pays off later. So for example, let's say you were to eat something healthy. It feels pretty weird right now because it doesn't really taste that good compared to the chips that you normally do eat. But after eating it, you've gotten healthier. You've actually improved your mental health. You're able to focus better. So pretty much delayed gratification is you sacrificing pleasure right now to get more of it in the future. And here's the thing, almost every single goal that you have requires delayed gratification. So if you want to lose weight, that requires delayed gratification. If you want to study harder and get better grades, that requires delayed gratification. And so what we need to do is we need to make delayed gratification a habit so that you can do it more and make faster progress, which will actually increase your dopamine and make you more motivated. See, delayed gratification gets easier over time as you make more progress because suddenly you have more motivation to do it. So that sounds all good, but how do we actually start doing this? Well, what we need to do eventually is we need to replace the instant gratification of these 3 bad habits with delayed gratification, which is good habits. So studying, reading, exercising, mental health. We need to basically replace the bad with the good. And in order to replace this bad stuff with the good stuff, you need to first introduce this good stuff into your life. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by doing a really small version of delayed gratification. Do 2 minutes of working out today. Do 10 minutes of studying. That's it. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to start introducing good into our lives so that we can pretty much take over our lives with good stuff entirely. And while we're doing this, we're going to progressively reduce the amount of the bad habits that we do. So for example, if you really like junk food, don't quit junk food entirely yet. Instead, all you need to do is you need to start reducing some of it. So maybe stop eating sugary stuff, because honestly, I didn't even like sugary stuff, so I stopped eating it pretty easily. Then after that, you start reducing it even more. You get rid of it from your environment and you start training your willpower to resist it. And then over time, after a period of a few months, you can quit it entirely. The goal here is you start small with the good habits and start small with reducing the bad habits. Don't do a 2-hour workout right now. So many people get this wrong. They try to do something that's like a level 5 difficulty while they're at level 1. You can't do a 2-hour workout without first going through a few hundred 30-minute workouts. And you can't get to a few hundred 30-minute workouts before doing at least a month of consistent working out just a few minutes a day. And so what I'm trying to tell you here is start small. Do the good habits at a small scale first and then increase them over time. And at the same time, start reducing the bad habits as well. So for example, replace the brain rot scrolling on TikTok with more self-improvement YouTube. Start learning more about addiction. Start learning more about good habits. Instead of playing video games solo, just cut it out because it's not even that fun anymore, is it? And then over time, you're going to start reducing the bad and reintroducing good things to your life until eventually you do none of the bad habits and only good habits. So let's just do a quick recap for the end of the video. You need to understand why you're doing the bad habits instead of just trying to fix them head on. Second of all, you can't just quit the bad habits. You have to replace them with the good habits in order to get to where you want to be. And lastly, we need to understand that these habits don't actually give you pleasure. They just numb you so that everything else feels worse. So yeah, that's all I have for today, bro. If you implement each and every step that I've given you, I know it was a little bit all over the place, but that's really just because there's so much to talk about when it comes to quitting addictions. You will have completely eliminated all of these bad habits. So yeah, bro, that's all I have for today. Go down and click subscribe button if you found value in this video. And as always, my name's Atharv. See you soon.